Alright, so hello everyone, Jose Hinestroza. Today I interview a very special person, and I'm not gonna tell you who, just look at yourself.
Hey guys, Coach Stewart. If you haven't heard, this is my last year at Cary High School. If you're interested to know why and a little bit more about me, come check out his podcast.
Alright, I'll see you there.
So I'm Coach Stewart. I'm in my third year teaching at Cary High School. I graduated from NC State with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics education, specializing in mathematics. So third year coaching here. I'm coaching our men's and women's JV soccer teams, and I'm loving it.
And Coach Stewart is the JV coach, just like you said, but he's about to take on a new challenge as a varsity coach in Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But right now, we want to know love for soccer start.
So, growing up, I played a lot of sports growing up, but to be honest, soccer was the very first sport I ever played in my whole life. I really started playing soccer from the age I could begin to walk. I don't know if it was 3-4 years old, but I was playing recreation league. There's a photo I have, I can show you later, of I have maybe no teeth in my mouth whatsoever, but I have a soccer ball at my feet. So look, I've loved the game from a young age. Once I picked it up, I tried other sports, and I am a fan of other sports, but just didn't necessarily have the skill set to continue other sports that I enjoyed at a high level. And soccer, from a young age, I excelled in my youth, and that brought me playing competitively up through middle school. And once I got to middle school and I tried out for my middle school team and was scoring goals for them, I was like, okay, I can play the game. And so I continued to play throughout my whole life. When I graduated high school, I had the decision to make, which was tough, on whether or not I wanted to continue to play soccer, maybe at a Division III level school, or whether or not I wanted to pursue a education at NC State. Probably the most difficult decision I've had to make in my life at that point. And so basically what it came down to is my entire life, as much as I loved soccer, at the same time, I was an NC State fan my entire life as well. And I grew up going to NC State games with my parents, who also both graduated from NC State. And so I made the decision to go to NC State, but I continued to play soccer there, not for their actual Division I program, but I played for their intramural soccer teams for my fraternity. And I decided once I graduated college that I wanted soccer to be in my life post-college. So I played in a couple of adult leagues here and there, and I just found myself in a situation here where a coaching opportunity presented itself, and from there I've enjoyed every moment.
No, amazing. And with that, you just answer half of the question I had. So.
Hit me, I can go into more detail. What you got?
So what inspired you to become a coach?
Yeah. So really, coaching and teaching to me kind of went hand in hand. So when I was, really young growing up, I always had an impact, almost like a role model sort of, to kids that were a little bit younger than me. So my brother, he's in his freshman year of college right now, and I graduated 3-4 years ago, so we're 7 years apart, right? So because of that, I don't know, he would always have his friends around, I'd always have my friends around, but I felt like I was always a role model to his friend group, starting in, like I said, middle school. So when I got to high school, I was really involved in my church, and our youth group leader, he came up to me one day and he was like, hey, I really think that you could make an impact on a lot of kids' lives if you were to teach Sunday school. So my freshman through my senior year, I taught Sunday school, my freshman through senior year of high school. And my sophomore, junior year, I realized it was really rewarding seeing kids, see value in the education I'm giving them at the church. And so I wanted to bring that into something I personally was incredibly passionate about. Not that I wasn't passionate about the church, but I just love the game of soccer. And so starting my junior year of high school, I started refereeing soccer as well as coaching like really, really small youth teams. And I loved it. And so when I went to state and I decided I wanted to be a teacher, which is a different story, but when I decided I wanted to be a teacher and I got hired here, I told the athletic director here, once I was hired in the math department, I actually had some soccer players in my class when I was student teaching, Santiago and Samuel, and they both told me, please apply to be coach, please apply to be coach, please apply to be coach. And I was like, you know what, you probably got a good idea. So I went, once I got hired with the math department, I went to the athletic director, and I just told him I had interest in coaching, and his eyes lit up, and he was like, we have an opening for the JV men's program. We're looking for somebody. And he was like, so whatever. Him and I talked, and the position got offered to me. And I was never supposed to coach the women's program. They had a JV coach at the time, but a week prior to the women's season starting, I'm actually in this room, and Coach Kerrigan, our varsity coach, she walks in, and she was like, so my JV girls coach just tore her ACL. And I was like, whoa. And she was like, I need a coach. Would you do it? And I did. And since then, I've rode with both the JV boys and girls, and I've loved every minute of it.
No. And like, honestly, I believe you because all of your players, they like you.
Yeah.
They like you, and honestly, I didn't know why. I was like, oh yeah, Coach Stewart, he's a JV coach. But then when I actually got to play with you,
yeah,
I just understood it. Because the vibe was different. The whole vibe was different, and I feel like I was lucky to, have you as a coach.
I appreciate that.
Have you as a coach, so.
Lucky to have you as a player.
Yeah. Thank you. So wait, actually, I'm curious now. What position you used to play?
Winger.
Growing
up, like young, I was center forward, striker from my middle school team. But being completely honest with you, I was, still now, but definitely in high school, I was pretty small for my age. I was 16 years old. I was like 5'1", maybe.
5'1"?
Yeah, I was small, man. And so because of that, playing center forward, being surrounded by the high school level varsity center backs was tough. So put myself on the wing, had a little bit more space, and I've enjoyed the wing ever since.
That's good. How do you handle tough losses or player frustrations?
I think it is for teaching and for coaching, but you have a really good opportunity to do so more in coaching. For me, and I wrote about this in college all the time, but I feel like coach, teacher, one of the most important things you can do is develop a personal connection with your players. And I feel like once I get to know my players and they get to know me, and we both kind of buy into each other, the tough moments, they fade away. And I feel like if we truly love playing the game with one another and love being a part of the program surrounded by good people, I think the losses, they come and go.
No, honestly, I felt it because I remember it was like one of the first games we were playing, and we lost, and I was like, damn, we lost.
Yeah.
But then I didn't feel like it was a loss, Honestly, you were like, all right, guys, we lost this game, but next game we'll do better. We gotta put the work in. And honestly, I didn't even feel like it was a loss. I just feel like it was a challenge. Like,
room to grow.
Yeah, like, okay, I lost this one, but it cannot happen again.
Yes.
Next one, I'm going stronger.
Exactly.
So I can agree with you in that. So now moving to the future, what do you decide to take this next step and become a varsity coach?
So, and I mean, to be honest, I wasn't looking for any other position. I wanted to be really clear, super happy and grateful for the experience that I've had at Cary High School. I was in no position to look to go anywhere. But with that being said, so I've had a girlfriend now we're about 4 years into our relationship. And she's super cool for me in terms of this plan, where basically her and I come to a decision on, she graduated college last year. She's in her first year of teaching right now. And she went to NC State as well. When she got into NC State, her plan was to graduate and move to Charlotte. She has a very large family of like 60 plus members that are all local to the Charlotte area. So her plan was graduate, go find a place to work around her family, because that's just what her family has done growing up. But she decided to stick around in Cary for this year simply for me. And that's because, so like I said, I've been here 3 years, but I also student taught here. So I've worked here 3 years, but I've been involved with Cary High School for 4. So that first year I came in with our seniors now, and I basically had a conversation with her where I was like, look, I'm happy to go to Charlotte with you, but I really want at the minimum to watch the cycle I came in with graduate. And so that's what we had kind of agreed upon, and neither of us were necessarily looking, but I had an opportunity fall into my lap. I checked my email one day and they say, looking for head varsity coach in Charlotte. And so I looked them up on Max Preps. They had, just this season, they had 6 players go all region. They're consistently in the playoffs, and it just looked like a really good opportunity. So I contacted their athletic director, and he talked with me a little bit about my experience coaching and whatnot, and they said that they'd love to have me on board, and so I took it.
And how are you feeling now? Like, are you excited? Are you nervous?
Both. Super excited to be a head varsity coach. It's just going to be something different, but also nervous in a sense of it's a role I've never taken on before, and a challenge that I'm definitely open to take, but will be interesting to at least get started, just because it'll be new for me. But I'm definitely excited.
Once you start doing it, do you see something bigger in the future? Maybe college coach?
I don't know. It's another one of those things where if the door's open, you never know. Now, if that situation were to fall into my lap, I don't know. It might be hard to say no, but I don't know. Right now, I think I'm happy where I'm at.
Okay. So, what do you think is gonna happen to Cary High team this new season that we won't have?
I mean, I think it'll be different, but I think you guys are gonna be fine. One thing that I haven't mentioned throughout this podcast that I definitely want to is the amount of respect and how much I personally have learned from Coach Laura Kerrigan. I think she is not only an incredible person, but even more of an incredible coach. And I know that she's leading their varsity team, but you guys know we kind of run the program together, right? And I think that Cary High School is incredibly grateful to have someone like her with her experience and background in the game, not only as a player, but as a coach. And I think if they got a right mind, if somebody like Laura Kerrigan gives you a phone call and gives you an opportunity to work with her, I think anybody in their right mind should take it. So I think in terms of her going out there and scouting somebody to take my spot, I got no questions whether or not they're going to bring in somebody good.
Okay. I'm not gonna cry yet. What will you miss the most about coaching here?
The people. And and that's one of the big reasons I'm a little nervous leaving, is just because going back to one of my core foundations in coaching, which is just the personal connections. I feel like, I don't want to sit here and hype myself up, but I feel like over the course of 3 years, I've really, really, really gotten to know both the men and women's Cary soccer program. And a part of what makes me nervous is I feel like due to those personal connections, I feel like that's what's opened the door for students and players here to respect me. And I feel like I've gone through the time. I don't think that's been given to me. I think I've earned it. And I'm just going to have to start over in a new location. And the players don't know me. They don't know what I'm about or anything. They just know my name so far. I haven't met anybody over there. So it's going to be completely different, and it's going to be incredibly difficult leaving behind such a passionate group of players that I'll never forget in my whole life.
And to that passionate group of players that you're leaving behind, what is one thing you could tell them?
Stay involved. Continue to play the game, whether I'm here or not. I hope that that's not a decision to make anybody stop playing the game. And keep the passion going. One thing I just love about Cary soccer is sometimes on the sideline or on the touchline, I should say, I have to distinguish myself between a coach and a fan at some points, because the energy and as you guys may say, the aura that Cary High School soccer brings, I just think is honestly, from what I've seen at the high school level, unmatched. I don't know another school that I've definitely coached against that has kids that are as passionate about the game as us. You might have kids that play club here, play club there, whatever, but I think our group we have here, the passion they bring to Cary soccer program is truly unmatched, and I hope more than anything that continues to hold true.
You know what we gotta do? We gotta make a friendly game, Cary High School against that team you're gonna cover.
I'm down.
Yes,
so I'm looking.
Yes.
I've already told their athletic director over there. If need be, I'd get my CDL so I can drive the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And if that falls into place, I'll be down here before the season starts for a preseason
game.
Yeah,
Preseason game.
For sure.
So kind of the last couple questions close up. In your opinion, what separates an average player from a great one?
I would say from a coaching standpoint, being coachable, just being willing to learn is huge. But outside of that, I think something that's incredibly important is the amount of effort you put into every single time you're on a field. Something I've said in the past when we've been in a situation where you've maybe lost a game that was close, you lose by 1 goal, or you get scored on late, a team equalizes or takes the lead. You did not lose that game in the 90th minute. You lost the game 6 months ago when you cut a corner in training, or you weren't taking a drill necessarily so seriously at practice. It's not about the little techie drills and flashy moves. It's about how much work you're willing to put in, and are you willing to put in more work than your competition? And if you are, I think that's what separates a good player from a great player, is not cutting a single corner and repetition, practice. How hard can you outwork your opponent?
How has coaching shaped who you are today?
I feel like coaching and teaching and working here in general, but coaching specifically has changed my life more than any other aspect of my life. I feel like the amount of just personal growth I've received in being a coach is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my whole life, and I could not be more grateful for this opportunity to have learned so much here. But learning aside, I just think that it's a priceless feeling knowing how much I'm appreciated by students that I'm coming to work for every day. But to me, stepping on a soccer field does not necessarily feel like work. It's something that I love to do on a daily basis, and I'm so fortunate. I've put myself into a position where I can step out onto a soccer field every single day, and I'm just incredibly grateful for the experience.
And Coach Stewart, last question I have for today.
Yeah.
How would you like to be remembered as a coach?
Going back to kind of the player side that's affected me quite a bit is just, I feel like brought a lot of passion to the table. And I know that I've talked about the players definitely bring that as well, but I don't know. I want to be remembered for just being passionate on the touchline and loud, energetic, bringing the energy. I've always tried to, every game, every practice, but especially during the games, is just bring the energy. And I just like to be remembered as that guy on the touchline, hyping people up, and that's really about it.
Okay, so thanks to Coach Stewart for sharing his thoughts, his journey. I'm pretty sure a lot of teenagers, a lot of people, because the idea is to like motivate people to go like from let's say in a productive lifestyle. Maybe they're not involved in any sport, or maybe they are, but they want to like just stand out. So I'm pretty sure your words are inspiring people, and we'll definitely be paying attention to you as a coach. Wait, what high school is it?
So it's Cox Mill, COX space MILL High School.
So shout out to Coach Stewart.
Thank you.
That was everything.
Crushed it. Killed it. Yes.
Killed it.
Nice.